All right, everybody, welcome out. We are recording this live. Today's date is October 7th of 2021. This is our first recording of any training, and so forgive us if we make any errors. We're going to work our way through this. Today's training is based on how you can make money at On The Move Realty. Okay, so we're going to focus on all the different ways that an agent can earn an income from working with On The Move Realty. We're going to give you examples of the different types of commission splits that we have and the different types of ways that an agent can get paid. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. All right, so the topics we're going to be going through, representing a seller, representing a buyer, working with buyers who also sold, referring agents, joining On The Move Realty as a new agent, taking leads, showing rentals, referring rentals to On The Move Realty, and referrals to other On The Move Realty agents. Okay? All right, guys, so the first thing we're going to dive right into is representing a seller. So an office agent at On The Move Realty who represents a seller makes a commission of, splits their commission at 80-20. Okay, so we give you a little bit of a boost for representing the seller versus representing the buyer. Okay, the reason that we do this, just so you guys understand, is the name of the game is listings. All right, so listers are lasters. All right, we all know the saying, buyers are liars, right? They're the chaotic ones. It doesn't mean that they're all liars actually, but it just means that they're the chaos, right? So listers are lasters, and my suggestion to you in your new real estate career is that you go ahead and list as many properties as you possibly can, okay? We want you to list properties as On The Move Realty because we know and understand that signs and yards are what make the difference for us, okay? So anybody who is an office agent, okay, so you're gonna have to look at the type of split you're on. If you're a flat rate agent, that's a little bit different. We'll talk about that next. But office agents split 80-20 with On The Move Realty. That means that On The Move Realty is going to keep 20% of the money that you make on your transaction, and you yourself will keep 80% of the money. Okay, so that's a 10% increase from just working with buyers. Okay, also the benefits of are going to be the just listed postcards. Okay, that's a value of about $100. So we're going to send out postcards to the area that you sell in on your behalf at our cost, and that's going to cost us about $100 to do so. Okay. We're also going to send out just sold postcards once you actually sell the home. All right. Professional photography, we're going to pay for that. $150 out of our pocket, not yours. So you can sell that to the owner. They don't know that we are paying for it. They just know that somebody's going to come out and photograph the home and that it's going to look its absolute best. Right. We also enroll your clients in the 21 touch follow-up program. Okay, it's a $25 value. What that is different postcards, mailings, and things like that all go out over the next 5 years. It's 21 different touches over the next 5 years, okay? So you're gonna get 10% more of your money at 80-20 versus just working with buyers. You're gonna get the benefits of all these programs, and this all totals about $375 paid for you by On The Move Realty just because you listed the home. So this is gonna help market you and make you look and feel like a professional when you're out there competing against these other agents in the market, okay? So an example of one of these would be a $250,000 home sold at 3%, okay? Your commission would be $7,500. So we take your $7,500, multiply it by the 80% that you're receiving, and you're gonna keep $6,000 of that money, okay? So again, that's your 80-20 split. That's working with buyers. Or working with sellers, I'm sorry. Other benefits to the listing agent that you guys are going to want to be aware of, you get to put your sign in the yard. You're going to have more control over the transaction. You're going to get name recognition, and also you're going to be known and trusted as the professional, okay? Buyers will work with almost anybody who will open the door. Listers will work with people who they know, like, and trust, okay? A lot different. Representing a seller, this is a flat rate agent who represents a seller, okay? So for all you flat rate agents coming on board with On The Move Realty, this is where you want to pay attention. We're not going to send your postcards or marketing on behalf of On The Move Realty, okay? We're not gonna pay for your professional photography. We're not gonna send the 21 touch. You're gonna pay a $350 a month flat fee, and you're gonna pay $500 per transaction, okay? But you're gonna keep more of your money because you're a flat rate agent. So you're only gonna pay the $350 a month, and you're going to only pay the $500 per transaction when you actually transact, okay? So let's assume that you sell one house this month. Now, we all know that you can go and sell 10 houses this month and offset a lot of the costs here because the $350 doesn't come back each time, only the $500 does. But for the sake of conversation, $250,000 deal at 3%, it's your same $7,500, okay? So your $7,500 minus out the $350 for the month, okay? And the $500 for the transaction, that actually puts $6,650 in your pocket, okay? The reason that we developed this type of a split is so that you, the agent, can go ahead and figure out how you want to market yourself. So this $650 that you've saved or earned in addition to over top of the other agent gives you the opportunity to spend your marketing dollars where you think you want to spend it. Maybe it's your website, maybe you do your own mailings, maybe it's flyers and you're going to canvas an area. I don't really know how you want to handle your business, but that is what this is meant to do, is offset our marketing dollars, okay? And it's almost twice as much, $650. So you get to spend that money the way you want to spend that money, okay? But we also don't give you all the benefits of all the office agent stuff, all right? Other benefits include, again, signs in the yard, more control over the transaction, name recognition, known and trusted as a professional, okay? Guys, remember the saying, listers are lasters. And what that means is they are the people who last in this industry, all right? There's an 87% attrition rate on new agents coming into the market. What that means is that new agents coming into the market right now, 87% of them will be out of the market completely, meaning they will not be licensed as a real estate agent any longer in 5 years. 87%, okay? List if you want to last, all right? Next slide. Representing a buyer, this is as an office agent, okay? So again, these are the guys and girls who receive the benefit of the office marketing on their behalf. They only pay when they sell. There's no flat fee or anything like that on a monthly basis. So 70-30 split, like we talked about, 10% less, okay? It's not because we don't like the buyers. We make the same money on buyers as we do on sellers. It's just that we want to invigorate our agents to go and do the things that we know is going to make a difference for On The Move Realty as well, okay, or incentivize them. So again, with the 80-20, we're incentivizing the agent to work with the listing versus just seek out buyers, okay? Buyers are great people too, okay? Everybody needs them, but they are a little more chaotic and a little bit more work trying to wrangle them and keep them all in one place. So 70-30 split, you get just sold postcards, okay? We can't send just listed postcards out on a home that you didn't list, all right? So that's the reason for that. So that's $100 there. And then 21 touch-up follow-up programs, so we do send those out, okay? All totaling $125 paid for you by On The Move Realty, so you're still getting a benefit there, all right? You're absolutely getting the benefit. Again, same $250,000, which, by the way, we're using that because that's an average number. That's a realistic number for the Delaware market right now, okay? So a $250,000 home at 2.5%, you're getting $6,250, okay? The $6,250 multiplied by the 70%, you're keeping $4,375 of that money, okay? Here we use a little bit different split or a different pay method. We use 2.5%. The reason for that, we talked about with the listing, you're gonna have more control, okay? So you might be able to dictate that with that seller, the actual price being, hey, I work at 6%, not 5%. When you work with buyers, you don't get that luxury, all right? You go with whatever the listing agent has decided works, okay? So 2.5% is very typical in the market for a buyer's agent, all right? So again, here's your money after the split, $4,375. Other benefits include feature listings, okay? Or future listings, I'm sorry. So your future listings, if you nurture this relationship that you have with these particular people, statistically speaking, a buyer will become a seller within the next 5 to 7 years. So stay in the market, list, and in 5 to 7 years, now you're not a brand new agent anymore. They remember who you are. We've done the 21 touch follow-up program. Okay, we've made some phone calls. We stopped by, sent some postcards, some Christmas cards, things of that nature on your own behalf. Okay, remember that you still want to market yourself on your own behalf. And here you go. Now you're going to be listing this property 5 to 7 years from now. Okay, so that would be a great opportunity. Easier to attain. Okay, so you can get leads for buyers. Most likely, if you're taking leads, those are buyer leads. Very seldom will a listing lead come into the office. Okay, again, why is that? Trust. They want to know, like, and trust you. Okay, the people who want to sell their house are much more likely to go and find a referral from anybody versus just taking a lead. Okay, so just understand that. So when you're working with leads, you're going to, in the large portion of it's going to be working with buyers, not sellers. Okay, you're going to be able to build rapport with your clients. Again, this is that future listing coming to you. All right, so they're going to remember you. They're going to know that you like you and trust you. You did a good job for them. You opened the door. You met them there on Saturday morning when you said you would. You made arrangements to work around their soccer schedule for your kids. You know, you've done all the things, right? So you're building rapport with these clients, and hopefully you're working to get referred, especially those agents looking to take leads. You need to turn those leads into referral sources, first and foremost. Okay. We're going to talk about representing a buyer as a flat rate agent. Okay, so again, these are the people paying $350 a month at $500 per transaction. All right, so we're not marketing on their behalf. We're not doing those things. We're giving them that money to decide how they want to market. Okay, so no just sold postcards, no 21 touch program. They're going to pay the $350 and the $500 per transaction. We're going to assume in this scenario that they sold one house this month. Again, I reiterate, there's a great chance maybe they sold 2, 3, 4, or 5 houses this month, and the numbers would differ. Okay, but for the sake of conversation, we have a $250,000 listing that they go and help the buyer buy at 2.5%. Okay, so that's a $6,250 commission. All right, there's $6,250 commissions minus their $350 for the month and $500 for the transaction. Shakes out that they earn a commission of $5,400. So they're still doing better than the office agent as far as dollar amounts, but they're also not having any marketing done on their behalf. It's going to be on them to run their business the way they see fit. Okay, gives you a little bit of freedom, but it also comes at a price. Okay, so other benefits to this include also future listings, easier to attain. Okay, it's not typical that we're giving leads to these individuals, but it is there, and maybe they're buying their own leads. Okay, so keep that in mind too. If you want to be a flat rate agent, we're probably not feeding you leads. All right, build rapport with clients and get referred. All right, next slide. Acting as a dual agent, office agent. So this is really not dual agency. This is actually working with a buyer who sold. Right? Okay. So take out the word dual agency. This is really not dual agency. Dual agency would be when you're representing a listing and then the buyer comes along and buys. Okay. Now, if the buyer were your buyer, it would be very similar to this, but this is actually working with sellers who are now going to buy within a year from their sale date. Okay. The benefits are going to be controlling the deal. They get the benefit of just listed postcards, just sold postcards twice, because you're going to get the just sold postcards when you sell the listing, and then again when you go and help that individual buy their next home. Again, we can't send out just listed postcards on homes that we didn't list. So now we're talking about a home that we probably didn't list and they're going to buy it. Sent to both sides, seller and buyer. Okay, 21 touch follow-up program. So they're going to be enrolled in that. In the professional photography, again, that was on the listing side of it. All right, all totaling $500 in this type of a transaction. So you're going to get a benefit of $500 worth of marketing dollars spent by On The Move Realty for you in an effort to help you earn your commission and be the professional. So go ahead. Got it. So yeah, the seller side. Okay, so you represented the seller in this scenario. again, your $250,000 commission, it's 3% because we got to control that number, all right? When we met with this seller, we said, listen, I can do all this for you. We do professional photography, we X, Y, and Z, but we work at 3%, not 5, right? So therefore, the number's higher, it's 3%, okay? So again, here's your $7,500 commission. Multiply that $7,500 commission by the 80% you're gonna be working with at, and you're gonna earn $6,000 there, okay? Your 200, now we're working on your buyer side, your $250,000 commission. This time you were lucky enough to get 3% for the sake of conversation. So that again, there's your $7,500, all right? $7,500 times 80% is the $6,000 again. So your 6,000 and your 6,000 is 12,000. So what we want you to take away from this scenario alone is that when you work with the seller, who then becomes a buyer, you get the benefit of the 80-20 on both sides of that transaction, okay? As long as that seller buys within the next year, all right? So again, this is your seller side. You're earning that $6,000 commission, okay? That's your take home, $6,000. We've spent $500 in this scenario to get you marketed and make sure that you have all the stuff you need to be a professional, okay? That doesn't include like the paper supplies, the printing, and the dot loop, and all the other stuff that we've incentivized you with here in the office. This is just the stuff that actually goes out to the sellers and the marketing. But again, this is the scenario when you work with the seller who then becomes a buyer in that next year, which is very typical, okay? So the moral of the story here is you get to stay at the 80-20 split level. You get the same benefit, okay? There's a few less incentives because we can't market a listing that we didn't sell, or we didn't list anyways. So a scenario here is Jasmine lists 123 Red Street. Jasmine's seller also wanted to buy a home in Delaware after selling theirs. Since Jasmine's seller's clients are deciding to buy a home within 1 year of their original transaction, Jasmine will have an 80-20 split on both sides, rather than 70-30 for the buyer side. So that's really where we're at with that, all right? All right, so we're gonna talk about referrals to On The Move Realty. This is us referring agents, other agents into the company, all right? So we'll give you a scenario in just a minute, but any On The Move Realty agent who refers in business can earn a $500 referral incentive, okay? So, and a 5% override for life on whatever that agent makes. We're gonna break that down for you right now, okay? If you refer an agent to On The Move Realty, the day that they sign, now we're talking about licensed agents, okay? So the day they sign as a licensed agent or become licensed as an agent, okay? We give the person who gave us the referral, they have to be an On The Move Realty agent, $250, okay? The next thing we do is $250 on the referred agent's first deal with On The Move Realty. So when that agent goes on to sell their very first deal, the day they close, we get the check into the office, you're gonna get another $250 that day. So now you're $500 in for just saying, hey, I like working at On The Move Realty, I think you might as well. And they come on over, all right? In addition to that, you're gonna get a 5% override on all the money On The Move Realty makes with the referred agent. Both sides of this need to still be with On The Move Realty, all right? So if you leave On The Move Realty, you will stop benefiting from the 5%, okay? That like if you go on work for Remax or you just go back to work at Walmart, I'm not gonna be sending you checks for 5%. You have to still actively be here. But as long as you, the referring agent, are still here and the other agent is still here, every single time they transact, you will get 5% of the On The Move Realty side of that money, okay? This doesn't affect their money. This is how we work with them, all right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario and we're gonna go from there, all right? So Courtney recruits Manny, which actually happened, okay? So Courtney, the day Manny signs all paperwork and becomes a licensed agent with On The Move Realty, $250 in her pocket, okay? Manny finalizes his first deal with On The Move Realty and gets through settlement. Brings that check to the office. We're gonna pay Manny just like we told him we would. We're not gonna deduct any money from him at all, okay? Other than the splits. We're gonna take some of our money and pay Courtney again $250. Now she's $500 in on this right here, okay? On The Move Realty makes $1,000 on Manny's deal. Courtney receives 5% of the $1,000. Okay, so in Manny's transaction, On The Move Realty, yielded $1,000 from that transaction. We're gonna take and immediately pay Courtney $50. Doesn't sound like much, but if she does this 10 times, that's $500 per month or whatever the scenario is, okay? Courtney will make $500 for recruiting Manny and $50 from his first deal. That's just one deal. So that equals $550, okay? This 5% override happens as long as both Manny and Courtney are still in On The Move Realty. The override will not affect Manny's pay at all. It's very important to understand is that this is not Manny's money that we're taking and giving to Courtney or Kevin or Ron or anybody else. This is On The Move Realty's money that we earned during the transaction as a part of the split, the 80-20, the 60-40s, whatever it is, okay? And we're gonna take some of our money and give it to you. Now, to further this, an additional part of the incentive is if you bring in an agent who is going to work as a flat fee, okay, not that we don't want them, but if you bring in somebody who's going to work at a flat fee, On The Move Realty is going to earn less money from them because they're keeping their marketing dollars in their pocket, right? So we're going to earn less money from them, and as will you. So we would really like you, again, we're incentivizing you. We would love it if you refer to office agents because those are kind of our core, right? We know and understand that's who we work with the best. We make a little bit more money with that. And so when we make a little bit more money, so do you, all right? Understanding percentages. Just want to throw that in there. All right, joining On The Move Realty as a new agent. When you join On The Move Realty before going to any other brokerage, you will receive however much you pay for schooling in your for schooling on your second deal, okay? So this is an agent coming directly out of school and coming to On The Move Realty first. They didn't go to Remax, they didn't go to Joe's Realty, they went straight to On The Move Realty. When these agents come out of school and directly to On The Move Realty, when they sell their second deal, we'll reimburse them in full for their entire schooling cost, okay? So a couple of our agents have already exercised this and done well with it. So it's just a little bit of incentive to A, come to On The Move Realty, B, refer to people so that they come to On The Move Realty, all right? And if any existing agent knows anybody currently taking the real estate course or thinking about it, please tell them about this incentive, right? So again, this is for brand new agents who are going through school. Get them on board with coming on to On The Move Realty. Once they do, you'll get the bonus for them coming on. You're gonna earn money in every transaction that they make, and we're gonna kick them back the money for school, all right? So there it is. Leads at On The Move Realty. Next section, okay? We're gonna talk a little about leads. You can receive leads as they come in or cold call older, unconverted leads, all right? So we just started buying leads, and we are actually working to convert them for you so that you don't have to worry about getting them through the pre-approval process and wrangling them before they're even ready to shop. We're trying to make sure that we take care of that for you. Some of those leads inherently are just not gonna answer their phone, not be ready to go right now, need to improve their credit. They're gonna kind of go into a boneyard, if you will, okay? The boneyard, don't think of it as a bad thing. The boneyard is just old leads that haven't converted, okay? For any number of reasons. Again, it could have been the credit, it could have been any of that. So the leads that we get where we don't get responses or we're not able to convert them now, we'll kind of go into this backlog of leads, all right? And so we will give agents the opportunity, especially moving forward, to dig into that boneyard and start to pluck the feathers, right? And start to earn some business that way if they want. If the agent takes, well, let me just follow the program and we'll talk a little bit more. So benefits, leads will help you build your business quickly. Leads will convert buyers to a referral source for better earnings in the future. Again, nurturing these not as transactions, but as relationships, becoming known as the trusted source of information for your buyer will convert that into a lead in the future, potentially a seller in the future, and also you want to be able to work with their friends and family as well. So you want to convert the buyers to a referral source. It's a great way to learn the business, okay, and also make mistakes, right? So if I make a mistake with a lead that I don't know, let's say I got a flat tire on the way to the showing and it's our very first showing and it makes them mad. It was outside of my control, it wasn't something I planned for, I got a flat tire, they're mad about it, they leave with a bad taste in their mouth. We don't ever want to have that happen. So hopefully you built in enough time to change that tire before you got there. But that wasn't your aunt, your uncle, you didn't ruin a relationship with somebody that you knew personally and really owed a debt of service to. This is somebody who wasn't willing to put up with it because they don't know you like you trust you, okay? The difference between referrals and leads. But if you make some mistakes here in the lead zone, it is what it is. That's just part of learning. That's how it works, okay? But hopefully you can make a few mistakes here and not with your mom, uncle, ex-teacher, the people who you know, like, and trust. Hopefully you can represent them in a better light and we don't want you making mistakes on a regular level, but we also know and understand that this is how we learn, okay? Making these mistakes. So an agent who comes in and says, I just want to dig in, I don't want to wait for you to generate business for me, just give me the phone book and let me just start calling some of these old leads that you have. Calling unconverted leads, they'll earn 60-40, okay? So they'll keep 60% of the money. On The Move Realty will keep 40% of the money because we provide the lead for them, okay? They're gonna cold call, it's gonna be hit or miss, and they're probably gonna need to get them pre-qualified and work them all the way through that transaction process prior to what we do for them, okay? Receiving already converted leads, 50-50, okay? So it's just a 50-50 split. We're taking and we're converting these leads for you and we're making all your dreams come true, basically. We're taking away most of the pre-work and we're handing you buyers that are ready to go shop now, okay? They're already pre-qualified, they're ready, less work and time for you. We want to keep our agents doing what you guys came to do, which is sell houses, okay? It does come at a cost though, keep that in mind, all right? There's nobody who's gonna be forced to take leads, by the way. Agents are welcome to not take leads or to participate in the program and also to jump in and jump back out, okay? So if you are an agent who does well and doesn't need leads, we're not gonna force you to take leads, but if your business should slow down and you feel like, hey, I just have a slow month, can I take some leads? We'll absolutely be ready to do that for you, all right? Showing rentals, okay? This is not the fun stuff, but you know what? This is where I personally learned a lot about real estate, okay? So the benefits, it's an introduction to a potential client, okay? In the rental world, when a person wants to go and apply for a home to rent, they are most likely as qualified or more qualified than a buyer to buy that same home, okay? The rental agencies around here have very strict terms. They've seen it all. They've had every game played. They've seen every angle. They know the system, and they're gonna make sure that these people, or these renters, are qualified to the highest level, okay? So a lot of times you can have that conversation with your renter and convert them into buying because their credit's gonna have to be good. Their income is gonna have to be good, okay? So right there, qualified buyer, right? They obviously need housing solutions, okay? And it's easy to have a conversation with them and say, why even deal with a landlord when you could be buying this house? And trust and believe that there's not a landlord out there that wants to charge less than their payment for the monthly rent. They want to earn a little bit of cream on top, right? So one of the first deals I ever did was exactly this, converting a renter into a buyer because of that very same scenario. So let me run through it. So it's going to introduce you to potential clients. There's a very high demand in the rental market that never goes away, especially here in Dover, Delaware. With the Air Force Base, you're going to run into that on a regular basis, okay? There's going to be a high demand always. Good chance to convert to buyers now and in the future, okay? So you might rent them this place now because they're not ready, they're not there. Even though their credit's good, even though they have good income, they're just not sure they want this school district or that school district, or they have a kid, any number of things can happen. Things change, but in the future, they're very likely to become a buyer, and so you want to stay in touch with them, okay? Every rental term is 1 year, by the way, 1 year, okay? And I know a year to a new agent seems like a lot of time, but trust me, that year's gonna go by and those people are gonna be either renewing their lease or moving out, right? Mistakes cost less. We're not talking about $6,000 commissions. We're talking about $200 and $300 commissions, right? So we're going to need more of these in order to generate business, but this is a great way to offset some of that early money that you're going to need and your mistakes. A showing a rental is the exact same process as showing a house. You're going to show up on time, look professional, unlock the door, let them walk through, let them make decisions, answer questions, and then put them under contract. It's the exact same thing. So it's a great way to learn your processes and learn when to shut up and when to talk, okay? And that's exactly what that last one says, is learn the processes. Usual pay, again, $200 and $300 is pretty typical in our marketplace, okay? And you don't get paid, you only get paid if the tenant's qualified, so you're gonna wanna learn how to pre-qualify them on the phone. Again, a great way to understand how to work your sales business. You know, you got a buyer, you're working leads, whatever it is, you get on the phone with them, you can ask them 3 or 4 questions and you can understand, is this person really a buyer or not, you know? So again, you're gonna learn to qualify them and you're gonna get paid when the tenants move in, okay? So it's gonna usually be at least 30 days or so out that you're gonna be waiting for your money. And there are some companies in this area that don't answer their phone and don't move very quickly, okay? You'll learn who they are. We're not gonna call anybody out or anything like that, but it's a little bit tougher to deal with. However, it is still income that can be produced. Do a couple of these a month, that's an extra $1,000 a month, right? So, also, we don't split any of this money. So if you go earn a $300 commission on a rental, we're not taking and splitting that 70-30 or 80-20 or any other way. We're gonna let you just keep the full amount because you've earned that at that point, okay? All right, referring a rental property to Bay Country Property Management. Earlier in this slide, we referred to it as referring it to On The Move Realty. On The Move Realty actually does not manage rentals at all. Bay Country Property Management manages rentals, okay? Quick reasoning behind that. If we're going to have a complaint lodged against us by any one of our great customers, the likelihood of it being a renter is exponentially higher, okay? Maybe they fell behind on rent and we had to evict them, or maybe they didn't take care of the place they wanted the way we needed them to, and we had to go after their security deposit, or any number of things, right? So, and there's also a higher turnover. So there's the likelihood of them going on Google and lodging a complaint or anything like that is a little bit higher on the renter side, right? Actually quite a bit higher. I wanted to make sure that I isolated my On The Move Realty agents from any negativity that may have come from that side of the market, okay? And so therefore we named it Bay Country Property Management. Completely different name. On The Move Realty does not manage rentals. Bay Country Property Management does. I own both companies, so it's okay, but I want you to understand the difference, right? So the benefits, we pay you half the first month's rent. So if you refer us a home, let's go into the scenario, right? So we will pay the referring agent half of the first month's rent. Okay, this is quite a bit better than dealing with renters, okay? So here's the scenario. Kevin refers 123 Red Street to Bay Country Property Management to manage. Bay Country Property Management and the landlord come to the conclusion that the house will rent for $1,500. The new tenants move in July 1st. Kevin will get paid $750 when the first month's rent is paid and the tenants take possession, okay? So by Kevin being out there, being maybe a listing agent or whatever the scenario, Kevin is talking with them and they're saying, well, I just don't know, I think I'm gonna rent. Great, well, we manage rentals, is what Kevin's telling them. And so therefore, he converts them to a Bay Country Property Management customer. And when we rent their home, Kevin gets the benefit of $750 paid to him directly as soon as the first month's rent is paid and the tenants take possession. All right. Referring to agents licensed out of state, okay? So scenario is Ethan sells his client's home. During the process, his clients pointed out that they wanted to move to Pennsylvania. However, knew no recommendations for agents there. They didn't know anybody there, okay? Ethan knows that Doug is licensed in Pennsylvania, therefore refers to his clients to Doug. Ethan asks and put in writing a referral fee of 30% of whatever Doug makes from the deal. Referral fees range from 25 to 30% and must be in writing. All right, you guys want to make sure these are in writing. But you can refer to an agent in Washington State, California, Texas, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, doesn't matter. You guys can refer your clients wherever they're moving. You can go and find them an agent, okay? So the way I would handle this is I would take and research agents in Phoenix, Arizona. I would look at who's doing what down there and make sure that I'm putting them with a top agent if I can, all right? And then I would go ahead and contact that agent, make sure that they understood who I am. I'm Doug from Delaware. My clients are selling their house. They're moving to Phoenix, Arizona. And then when they sell them that home in Phoenix, Arizona, so long as that referral is in writing and the agent agreed, right, then you can earn 20 to 30%, 25 to 30% of what it is that that agent's earning on that end, okay? So another great way of making money. That's it. All right, guys, so that's the end of our training for today. Hope you enjoyed that. For all you new agents, you know, get out there and hustle. But ultimately, guys, these are the ways that you can make money with On The Move Realty. Thank you for tuning in.